Okay, welcome. Just sipping my tea. Well, I'm very frustrated. You know why I'm so frustrated is because I cannot get this video published. What video? I'm Everett Curdy. Welcome to my channel. Subscribe, hit the bell so that you won't miss any future videos. And so, what video am I talking about? Well, in my weekly astrology video, which is one of my most popular videos on my channel, has 39 views. I promised that I would publish a video called Mercury in the 12th house, Sun in the 12 houses on Wednesday. Go on my channel and look for that video. Look for that video. You won't see it. I don't believe in not delivering in promises, and it's really, really frustrating to me. It's frustrating because I had a goal in mind that I would get this video on my channel. I would make this video. I put all this time and all this energy and all this work into this video, and it's not there on my channel. And it's really frustrating. It's very frustrating, and it's going to involve a huge procedure, and it's not going to be out until this weekend. It may be delayed. So, for those who were expecting that video, I'm sorry. This is an issue that has come up. So disappointing. I want to get into exactly why this video did not work. When I was editing the video, because I made the video, I put several clips together in the video, which was probably not the best thing to do. I wish I found out about that earlier before I made a bunch of clips and I put them together and in the editing software, which is Cyberlink. I forget the other name of it, but I'm just doing the best that I can do. Cyberlink. I exported it, and the software did not respond to what I was trying to do. I was clicking export, and a box came up and it said 2 options: close the program or wait for it to respond. I clicked wait for it to respond. I was waiting and I was waiting and I was waiting. It came up again. Wait for it to respond. I continued waiting. It's late at night. I just finished the last part of this video. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I should be getting into bed. I should be sleeping. I should not be worrying about this video that I need to probably deal with the next day because I need to get sleep. But I was losing sleep to take care of this video because I cared that much. I care about, I say something, I promise something, and I deliver it. I get it out. I fulfill that promise. And I personally value saying something and making a promise to my audience, and then I deliver on that promise. I say I'm going to do this, and I deliver on it. Now, I am not somebody who just, when it comes to, YouTube and those kind of things like that, I'm not going to care what people think when it comes to me making a promise that I'm going to put this video and then I don't. If it is only based off of doing it for, the good of other people and what other people want to see, and if I don't want to do it, then I'm not going to do it. However, I value keeping to my word and making a promise and sticking to it. I have a whole structure that I have worked on tirelessly. I've laid it out. And I don't like changing that structure. I've made it very, very clear. If somebody comes to me and goes, I made a structure a long time ago, and I have absolutely fulfilled that structure to a T, you need to get checked out because I don't believe you. I do not believe you. Why I don't believe you is because in life, things happen. Things will happen no matter what. No matter if Mercury is retrograde or direct. Things will happen. And that is the reality, and you can't avoid that reality. Oh, I made a promise that I meditated every single day this year. You haven't meditated every single day. I can assure you, you haven't meditated every single day because things come up in your day. You probably meditated a lot of the days, but not all of the days. I can tell you, you did not meditate for every single day because that's too extreme. And when you set a goal or promise that is extreme like that, and it's a structure that is rigid and inflexible, there is a 100% chance and 1,000% chance that you did not follow that structure and that plan and that goal to a T. Just like there is a 100% chance that healing is linear, that you get better, that you improve, that you grow, you progress, you move forward, you move in a better direction, and then you go back. That's how healing works. You don't just start over here and continue to escalate. No, you go back, but here's the deal: it's both and. You go back a little bit, but it's less often and less extreme and less, negative and better off than the previous time that you went back as you're continuing to heal. But it isn't black and white like that because life isn't black and white. Life is not some clear thing. And if you make a structure like, oh, I'm going to meditate every single day this year, what planet are you living on? This is Earth. Things happen. Things happen. Mercury may be direct, retrograde, moving sideways, whatever. Things happen. Such as an editing software not working. It's very frustrating. Very frustrating. I just want to go over some placements of Mercury through all 12 houses. I mean, I have several options. I published the whole entire video later once I get it figured out, or I publish the individual segments of the video on my channel and it doesn't end up being one video like I intended it to and how I want it to be. Or I just take the introduction of that video and I just pair it to say I only do a compilation of all the segments that I've done, but do one video on houses, the sun through houses 1 through 3, another video through houses 4 through 6. I know of somebody who edits her videos and they're very, very long, very, very lengthy, very, very in-depth. And those videos get onto her channel because she has an editing software that works for the lengths of that video. You can design something and it can go haywire. Not everything is going to be 100% reliable. And the editing software that I'm using is not reliable, so I'm going to have to scrap the editing software and get a new one if it's not going to do the job. And that is going to take time. That is going to take time. It's going to take time. And I'm going to give myself total permission to say something on a video and not follow through with it. And in life, if someone wants to judge me for not following through with it, when I cared, I invested the time, the energy, the work, the whatever, that is a reflection of them and not me. They're projecting their opinion, their viewpoint, their belief, their demands, and their expectations of me. They are the ones saying that. I don't have to just succumb to that negativity, succumb to that being drained by their nagging or judgments or whatever for not doing something on time or in a certain way. That's a reflection of them. Them not valuing you and knowing your worth. Them not respecting and acknowledging and finding the decency to appreciate that you took the time and the effort and you cared and you could do the best you could, but things happen. Well, you can change it up, getting another editing software. Well, that's going to take time. And yeah, you can be more efficient and, do all of those things. You can't just snap your fingers and it can't be something that just happens overnight. It does take time. And there is something to the maturity of knowing that things take time and you do need to be patient and you do need to have a structure enough where you are getting enough sleep. I mean, anything that costs you your peace and your health is not worth it. Doing an assignment for one teacher that you just found out about the day before Thanksgiving break that's due, where you have to sit and analyze poems and you have to write multiple reflections and answer higher order thinking questions of those poems, and you have to slave away and and cram and go as fast as you can to get it done, and all of that. It's not worth doing because it costs you your peace. It is, as soon as something costs you your peace, it's not worth it. Not worth it. Now, that actually did happen to me. But I just, the example that I just gave. That did happen. And it's a huge regret that I have for allowing that thing, that external person with that external expectation, to dictate and control my life and what I do in my spare time when I get home from community college. It taking up my evening, what I want to do, what I want to invest my time and energy into. I allowed it to get the better of me, and I regret it. I didn't draw the healthy boundary to say, no, I'm not going to choose to do this tonight. I'm not going to allow myself to have my peace taken away from me. I'm not going to take away my peace. You're not going to take away my peace. This is not going to take away from my evening. Problem is external pressure, conditioning, indoctrination, programming, you name it. And that is the problem. The simple answer is be authentic and do what's right for you. It's a simple answer. Don't allow people to dictate what is right for you. And it's not going to be comfortable. It's not always comfortable to be true to yourself and authentic. It may involve feelings of guilt. It may involve feelings like you're doing wrong against somebody. It may involve feeling like you are not doing something right. It may involve a part of you that feels like you're being selfish and arrogant and all those things, but really those are projections by other people who are telling you you are selfish, you are arrogant, you're self-centered. Those are all projections by other people. You know what is right for you. Now, this could also involve people trying to help you live a better life. Now, this is where we enter a different area of discussion, because what if you find yourself in a pattern that you're doing something over and over again, and it's taking up so much of your time and your attention and your energy, and you keep on feeding that pattern? And you don't realize it internally, but you almost need somebody else externally to tell you, you need to stop. You've been at this way too long. You need to stop. Stop. When you want to address a certain issue that's actually giving in to the compulsions that you have, instead of the discomfort that needs to be faced, that you are doing something wrong, you're not good enough, you're not this enough, you didn't deal with it in the proper way, all of those things. Maybe if there wasn't so much expectations in general, programming, conditioning, and all of that, that you must be a certain way and all of that, maybe that would impact mental functions of people at and around my age. Maybe if there was just a little bit more love and nurturing in the world and non-judgment and unconditional love and acceptance and give and take, all those things. Maybe if there was a little bit more of that in the world, maybe it would make a difference. I don't know. But maybe it would make a difference. Why does trauma happen? That's another question. Why does trauma happen? Why do things happen in your life that start a whole cycle of compulsions, addictions, and trauma and drama in your life? Here's the thing, you can't tell when you're watching something or you're reading something, and some of the information goes into your conscious mind, but some of what you're taking in goes into the subconscious mind, the blind spot, what you can't really see. And you may not be able to tell what's going in. Just like you're walking into a house and you find this substance that you can't see, but it's fatal. There is a substance, I can't think of the name of it, and I'm not making that up. But when you're watching things, certain things go into your subconscious mind. And they enter into your consciousness. You may notice it or not, and then it impacts your day-to-day rhythms, your routines, your actions, all of those kind of things. You may realize it, you may not. Now that's why it's very, very important to be disciplined and discerning into the information that you're taking in. Is it negative? Is it fear-mongering? Does it make you angry? Does it bring you to a low frequency? Does it make you feel anxiety? Or whatever it is. Don't engage with that information. Now, I'm a Scorpio South Node, and that isn't always the easiest thing to do because there is a part of me as a Scorpio South Node based off of astrology that just wants to engage in something instead of choosing inner peace. Instead, I take the road of self-sabotaging. And I have Mercury in Taurus. Now keep in mind that in astrology, the South Node deals with the tea is not warm enough, but I'm not going to warm it up because it's perfectly fine the way it is. Now, the South Node deals with the shadow material. Takes whatever sign it's in and it looks at it, shines a light on the shadows. It's a purge, it's a release. And so part of the North Node in Taurus is valuing yourself. The North Node in Aries and North Node in Taurus, both of those placements scream out loud. Newsflash. You're selfish, you're arrogant. Projections, projections, projections. Yep. Now, there's great freedom in realizing that. There is great freedom in realizing that things that people say and all those kind of things are projections of their own reality. Now, that doesn't have to be a bad thing all the time. there are some projections, and I'm using that word without air quotes, and I'm saying that deliberately. I'm saying projections deliberately that you like better than others, that you agree with better than others, that you support better than others, that you want to be on the side of, that you want to receive, that you want to live by, that you're invited, that, these people are, so that you want to connect with them more and at a deeper level. Because if I'm using the word in this particular way, their projections are more positive. Now, maybe there should be a binary towards projection and just offering my opinions and wisdom and, insight and advice and, all those kind of things like that. Now, going back to what I was saying, the South Node in Scorpio can indicate some sabotage, I can't speak today, sabotaging behavior that you feed over and over and over again, whether you realize it or not. And it's a monster that you keep on feeding and feeding and feeding and feeding. It doesn't have to be OCD, it can be something else. But it's just a toxic pattern, an addictive pattern. It could be smoking, it could be drinking, whatever it is. Whatever it is. Washing your hands multiple times a day, as another example. Things that you do that destroy your inner peace. Instead of having a disciplined approach to not engage with that thing that is destroying your inner peace. Your inner peace is more important than whatever that thing is, whatever that drama is, whatever that projection or that, all of that. Now, there are people who will probably come into your world and be people that will try to get you on the side of inner peace when you are doing that self-sabotaging behavior, kind of like an intervention, I can't speak today, intervention for someone that is addicted to unhealthy drugs, as an example. I'm not going to tolerate you continuing to destroy your body, destroy your health, destroy your life. So I'm going to intervene. I care about you and I love you and I want the best for you, but you are not allowed to continue on this path. And there's probably kicking and screaming and drama and upset and swearing and all those things involved because change is not comfortable. What's really, really interesting is in the human nature, there's something in the human, where you want change and you want your life to be better, and yet you sabotage yourself from that change. Yet you are resistant to it because you keep on feeding the same old habit patterns. You keep on doing the same things over and over again. What do you want? Change or staying the same? No, it's not going to be comfortable. No, it's not going to be fun, or no, it's not going to feel good. It is not going to be comfortable. But in the long term, and you're going to realize that it's going to be better for you. But it may feel pretty bad right now. It may feel like you are doing something wrong. But you're actually doing something right. Doing something good by thinking that you are denying your truth, lying to yourself, and procrastinating on dealing with whatever it is you need, feel you need, and want to deal with. You're actually moving yourself onto a higher dimension, onto a higher trajectory. You're doing good for yourself. Now, I'm guilty of projecting right here and right now. Guilty as charged. I am projecting my own life experience and my feelings here, guilty as charged. So I'm going to own that. And I'm not going to delete this live stream. I'm not going to delete a single video that I post on my channel ever again. I mean that. Because you know how many thousands of videos that I've deleted in the past? Thousands of videos that I have published and that I have put the time and energy into making, and I published on my YouTube channels, and I've deleted them compulsively. One of my biggest regrets. It's been a year from the time that I did that, so I've integrated that and I have moved on from that. But it is something that I deeply regret, and I'm never going to delete any video again, no matter how I feel about it. If I publish it, it's out there. I can edit it, I can change the title, thumbnail, whatever. I'm not going to get rid of it. I made the promise to myself that I would do that. That's a promise that I think I can make. I mean, I think I can make, guessing that I have good reasons for it and strong feelings about it because of all the videos that I compulsively deleted. Not deleted because, I'm sitting with this. I've meditated on it. I've reflected on it. You know what? I don't want this. I want to delete it. I don't want this around. You know what? I'm going to do it with, I'm calm. I'm grounded. I know what I want. I know my truth, all of that. And I'm just going to delete it. Feels better. No big deal. Unfortunately, not the case for me. It was compulsive. It was me not having the patience to download the videos and post them onto other accounts because I wanted my YouTube channel that you're watching off of to all be public videos. And so when I was publishing, when I downloaded the unlisted and private videos that I made, which are my own personal videos that I would never share on YouTube. They're videos of me pretending to talk to an audience of people in my sunroom and pretending to teach. You can judge me all that you want for that and think whatever you want to about that. Those are my videos, and that's what I enjoy doing, and that's what I did enjoy doing for a long time. But I wouldn't share that because it doesn't feel good and it doesn't feel right to put that content out there. So you can only download one. If you want to download a video from the YouTube studio, you can only download one video at a time. And there were a lot of videos that I made, and you can only publish so many videos to an account in a day as possible. There's a limit. You can only publish so many videos to that account as possible. And so when I've reached that limit of uploading the videos to those other accounts, which I made the videos private and unlisted, there was not enough. I reached my publishing limit, and instead of being patient, instead of just taking my time and this is an opportunity for me to do something else, and I'll come back to it tomorrow in 24 hours when I can publish more videos, because when you reach the upload limit, you do have to wait 24 hours until you can upload more videos. I could have waited. I could have done other things, moved on with my day. I could have just put that aside. Nope. I was not patient. And I went through all the videos and I deleted one video after another because I didn't want to deal with it anymore. I didn't want to be stagnant. I didn't want to have the videos in my life. I didn't want to be stuck in the same narrative. I wanted something done. So I was impulsive and I was compulsive and I was extreme. I did something very, very extreme and intense, and I deleted. all those unlisted and private videos that I make on my own YouTube channel, instead of having the patience to publish those videos on another channel. And I say that looking back with a neutral perspective of, okay, yes, I did this and I learned from it. I moved on. I'm not going to do the same thing ever again. So, I'm sort of going in a bunch of different directions at once here, but the thing that I do want to come back to is the discomfort when you feel that things do not go your way. It's really something to rely on logic. Of this is logical and this is practical. That's what should be done. Not what you're analyzing in your mind and imaginations, which is not true. It's not what actually happened. And when you analyze it, when you're questioning it, it's actually not what you think that it is. And that's the downside of Pisces energy, is it can get caught in an illusion, not seeing things clearly, when actually looking at it from a more objective perspective and gaining the logical, rational information over, this is what you've actually done, this is what's going on, this is what happened, then it can get easy to get sucked into what you strongly believe energetically that did happen. Instead of trusting others and trusting yourself, you let a compulsion get the better of your higher self. And so, why is it that we make goals and make plans, but we don't follow through with them? Why is it that we make, admit it, you make your New Year's resolution and you don't follow through with it? Maybe if you made it in the spring equinox, if you live in the northern hemisphere, maybe that would make a little difference, because the sun enters Aries and it's fresh, vibrant, fiery, enthusiastic, energetic energy that's like the spark of life force, instead of the winter in the northern hemisphere. Admit it, you don't look at the notes that you take, except for what you need before. You don't follow those New Year's resolutions. Why do we say things we don't follow through with them? Why is it in the human? I want to say those three words again, in the human, to do that. Maybe because we are not willing enough to be disciplined, or not willing enough to be uncomfortable and put in the work and do whatever for long-term goals. Maybe because we're not willing to say no to certain things, to say yes to certain things, and to say yes to certain things, we also need to say no to certain things. That's how discipline works. I've not been disciplined with some things in my life. I could be exercising more, or meditating more, or doing all those things. I haven't been the most disciplined. I'll be the first to admit that. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to, be on here pretending that I, do all these things when I don't. That's the self-improvement piece. to work on is saying, having a goal that you're going to do it, you're going to, follow through with this, but then being open to when things don't work out and being flexible to when things do not go according to plan and when things do not go according to schedule. Oh, I'm going to meditate and pull oracle cards every single day. Not going to happen. I can tell you that, not going to happen. You may think it, but it's not the reality. Oh, I'm going to take a break from social media for a year. For a month. Most likely, probably not going to happen. Probably not going to happen. I mean, we're inundated with social media. There are certain things that we need to allow ourselves to experience as human beings, not human doings. Certain things that nourish us. And you give in to certain things and then you have discipline. You give in and then you don't give in. You have the discipline and then you have the indulging in this thing. You eat healthy and then you also have soda and all those kind of things. It is a balance. It's not one or the other. It is both and. And if you don't have that, mindset and acceptance of the reality is that both and is actually the long term and the right and the only way to go for the long term, then I don't know. It's not going to happen, whatever goal that you set, unless it's flexible, unless it's not extreme and so rigid and gridlocked and all of that. So my point in saying this, I'm not going to go through the cast placements because this is my plan. I will get that video published because I do not put so much work into something to not have it get published. But it's going to wait over the weekend. And I may contradict myself. I may say something here in this live stream that I change my mind on later on. It's okay to contradict yourself. It's okay to say one thing and then do another thing. It is okay to not always make promises. If you do the best you can and you can't fulfill that promise, content creators on YouTube were not put on this earth to be a slave to their YouTube channel. What are the reasons for why you're doing it? My reasons is why I enjoy doing this. It's fun. It's interesting. It's all of those things, but at the same time, I don't need to take it so darn seriously. I'm taking it too seriously. So I don't have to. But I also want to take it seriously because I value it and I care about it and I care about publishing the video when I say I'm going to do it. I'm doing it in a certain way because I care about it and I value it, and that's true for me. And we value certain things over other things. I value this over other things in my life. And there comes times when I value other things over this. I mean, it all, is relative to the situation, whatever's going on. All of this to say that it will be published on my channel, and it will be very, very soon. Not tonight, probably not tomorrow, but this weekend, I'm sure. So keep an eye out for that video. And that's it for now.